This is not the first time that apologists in India have tried to justify the brutal attack by Hamas as a freedom struggle and blame Israel for being an occupationist. Listen in to some of the justifications thus far for terror.
इजराइल ऑक्यूपायर है और इंटरनेशनल लॉ और वॉर क्राइम्स है वहां की जो सरकार कर रही है कि आप गाजा में जो हमला कर रहे हैं कलेक्टिव पनिशमेंट इंटरनेशनल क्राइम है ये 1800 लोगों की मौत हो गई जिसमें 500 के करीब बच्चे हैं कलेक्टिव पनिशमेंट दिया जा रहा है गाजा के रहने वालों को इंटरनेशनल क्राइम है ये।
पहले जब वो गए तो इसराइलियों ने उनके ऊपर बम्बार्डमेंट किया 70 लोग मारे गए। जंग अगर होती है उसमें सिविलियंस को हमेशा बचाने की कोशिश की जाती है। सिविलियंस के ऊपर जिस तरह से बम्बार्डमेंट किया गया पहले हमास की तरफ से भी किया गया इसको कोई भी सपोर्ट नहीं कर सकता।
इस वक्त फलस्तीन में जुल्म हो रहा है जो हॉलोकॉस्ट में ज्यूस के साथ हुआ था आज इसराइल वही फलस्तीनियों के साथ कर रहा है और इसके नतीजे आने वाले वक्त में बहुत खतरनाक हो सकते हैं।
Strategic analyst Sushant Sareen joins us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Sareen, how shocked are you that a Hamas terrorist is not just being platformed in Kerala but also being welcomed as an esteemed guest?
No, I'm neither shocked nor surprised because given the kind of positions that some of these people have taken in India under this very nice cover that they are speaking for the rights of the Palestinian people or they are talking about human rights and against international war crimes, all those familiar tropes that the leftists and the so-called liberals, who are the most fascist element in this country today and the most intolerant element, the kind of tropes these people use, I'm certainly not surprised, nor am I shocked, because in this country, the worst kind of crimes have been justified in the name of secularism. And in this country, the worst kind of terrorist attacks have been justified in the name of liberation and freedom struggles. But clearly, for parties in India to hobnob with an international terrorist group, neither does anything for their reputation, nor, for that matter, for the reputation of this country. And I wish that all those people sitting abroad who, always like to take digs at India, using these particular characters to abuse India, all these people who are today supporting Hamas and who are supporting terrorism and who are trying to whitewash the crimes and the brutality of Hamas are the people whom Western liberals, incidentally, all these newspapers and others use to actually diss India. So I think that's a lesson for them as well, also for Western governments, which seem to have propped up these useful idiots to propel their agenda inside India. But having said that, I think it's extremely important that we do not allow this kind of conversations to be normalized in India. I think we need to join issue and we need to debunk the kind of nonsensical rhetoric coming out from the left and the liberal element. For example, international war crimes. We keep hearing this word. Please, somebody should tell us what exactly is constituted by international war crimes. If a terrorist organization makes a command center in a hospital and uses a hospital premises to carry out its operational center,
yes.
And that hospital is targeted, that's not an international war crime. It's a war crime to use a hospital for purposes
True.
of war. Right? It is not, there is no civilians being deliberately bombarded. In fact, I can't think of any other war
Yes.
in which civilians have been warned beforehand to vacate areas which are likely to be targeted. Those warnings are issued so that civilian casualties are kept to a minimum.
Yes.
If Israel actually wanted to target civilians, I don't think it would have taken them 3 weeks to wipe out the entire population of Palestine if they wanted to do that. They clearly
Absolutely.
don't want to do
And
that.
the unfortunate bit is that it all comes under the cover of the Palestinian cause, as if, the cause that is being taken up is for Palestine. Mr. Sareen, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. The politics around it also playing out. The BJP has now questioned the left government. Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP joins us on the broadcast. Shehzad, the event that was organized was by the youth wing of the Jamaat Islami in Kerala, and they claim that this was for the Palestinian cause. But this is a Hamas terrorist who has been given a platform and being introduced as an esteemed guest.
वोट बैंक की ऐसी है प्यास कि प्यारा लगता है इनको अब हमास. We have always been saying कि Palestine is the बहाना, हमास को है बचाना. Palestine and Hamas are not interchangeable. Palestine, as far as it is concerned, West Bank does not have Hamas. Hamas is a terror group that perpetrated the acts of October, killed 1,400 innocent people. The leader of Hamas, who's a terrorist, is being platformed by the same Kerala government because they have ultimately allowed this program to take place. And the same Kerala government does not allow RSS to hold its functions. It bans nationalists. And there's been a long history of the Kerala government, the left government in particular, in appeasing terror or radical elements for vote bank. And this is yet another example of that. And therefore, the Islamization, jihadization of the political narrative in Kerala is now becoming even more stronger and more prevalent. Congress party has an MP from Kerala called Rahul Gandhi from Wayanad. Why doesn't Rahul Gandhi take a position on this? Because the left government is part of the India alliance. Does he accept giving a platform to the Hamas leader, to a terrorist leader? Secondly, the Congress itself has not condemned Hamas's terrorist actions in their CWC resolution. Their leaders have also echoed similar lines of eulogizing Hamas leaders. We have seen KK Shailaja tweet that Hamas was a terrorist group and she had to delete that tweet. Shashi Tharoor called out Hamas's terrorist actions and then he was also instantly deplatformed. So it seems that there is an attempt to appease a particular terror group only for the sake of vote bank.
Absolutely. But I also want to mention, that this was no surprise guest at this event. It was not like the government or the police was taken by surprise because there were posters also that were put up saying that this leader of fighters is going to join and is going to be addressing this rally.
Look, the most disturbing is saying that Hindutva ko ukhaadna hai. We have to uproot Hindutva. And on that platform, you have Hamas. Now, what does it mean? Does it mean that Hindutva, which is defined as way of life, to eliminate Hindutva, which is the agenda of India alliance, they are going to use tactics of Hamas? So this seems to be an open call that Hamas-style tactics should be used to uproot Hindutva from this country.
All right, Shehzad, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Outrage over what happened in Kerala, no action being taken yet. BJP questioning the left government and, of course, the silence of the Congress on the issue. We're keeping a track of the reactions that come in. For the moment, let's shift our focus now. India did not vote in the UN General Assembly resolution that called for an immediate humanitarian truce, but politics also playing out around it. We'll get you details of that after a quick break.